All right. I guess the way this goes is like anybody that has any questions, please let me know. And I can definitely take a look at any of these. So fire away, guys. WRB. All right, let's take a look at WRB. Okay. This is a daily time frame, so I'm not sure what time frame you guys are looking at, but this is the daily time frame of WRB. I will tell you this. Right now, because this chart seems like it was ready to go higher, so here was where it was trying to go higher, and then now it's failed to rally. Okay, it has failed to rally. Here's what I would say. If it should close below this green candle right here, if WRB should close below this green candle right here, I am here to tell you it is going to continue going down. Okay, so be very, very aware of that. Otherwise, so I guess the best way to look at this would be to draw a channel, so to speak. And so we have one up here and one down here. This is your range. Does that make sense? Should we close below it? Now, it's okay to dip below it, no problem. It's if it closes below it. If it closes below this, then I'll say be prepared for it to continue to go down. If it closes back above this level right here and it closes what we want, then I think that you will be fine with this going higher. Fair enough? Let me double check this on the weekly time frame just to see what the weekly is showing us. Okay, so on this weekly time frame, um, definitely some bearish signals. So I would be more inclined to say that this might go more bearish than it would go bullish. And let me see this on the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame is okay. So maybe for the short term, a a a a bearish sentiment might be creeping in to like maybe just consolidating, and then we'll see where it goes from that. But I would say not necessarily to upside unless we can break this upper level. If I was in this trade, stops would definitely be something I want to put in place at this point. Fair enough? All right. Next question I see here. What do you think of USD EUR? Do you think USD would rally if USA gets involved in a war? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really focus on how the macroeconomy affects anything. I just like to look at, I'm a technical analyst, and that's all I do is like look at the chart. So let me see. I don't know if I can even pull up USD EUR on here. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Body vibe 39, I apologize about that. I'm not sure. This is more of a currency trade, and I don't have the ability to pull up a currency trade on this chart right here. Let me try EUR slash USD if that works. So I don't know if this is the same thing, USD. DXY. Okay, let me take a look at DXY. Sorry about that. DXY. Let's see. All right, so DXY is not coming up over here. So let me try that again. So we go EUR slash USD. Okay, so if I look at this chart from a technical analysis point of view, definitely topped out. These are top-in patterns that are showing up over here. We have about one, two, three, almost four top-in patterns that are appearing up here. Okay, four top-in patterns. So with four top-in patterns appearing up here, and if we look at this as a potential breakout that failed, my estimation would be, or my analysis would be that we should be expecting things to continue going down. So I would say be prepared for that. If you are trying to short, not a bad idea. I would say maybe wait one more candle just to confirm, because right now, even though we have these top-in patterns, we need to see confirmation of that, of this red candle right here. I need to see a confirmation of that red candle. Should we get that confirmation of that red candle, meaning that we close below that red candle with another red candle, it has to be another red candle that closes below that, then I would say it is going down. And that's okay to start shorting. Otherwise, if you're long on this, you might want to start taking profits. You might want to start putting some stops in place just to make sure that you are not going to lose too much. Fair enough? All right. Omar is saying, what undervalued names do you have on your radar? As far as undervalued, I don't really go with that, unfortunately. I like to stick with the blue chip stocks. Does that make sense, Omar? Not necessarily undervalued. My biggest thing is just to know when the stock is ready to move and when it's not. So, for instance, right now we were in Micron, and I'm telling people, look, Micron is now beginning to show some top-end patterns, and I'll say we might want to start cashing out of Micron right now because of that top-end pattern that is appearing now, with the expectation of a slight pullback or maybe price is going to go sideways, and then when it's ready again we'll be able to jump in. We got into Micron when this happened right here, and so it's done pretty well. We got this right here. And so Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, my whole thing is just making sure that we pay attention to when these are ready to go out. If you look at and the whole thing is learning how to analyze. Right now, to me, this is a stock that's consolidated. So one of the things we try to tell people is like the market has cycles during the month. Right now, we're in the cycle where we're not expecting things to go higher. We're expecting things to either stay where it is or pull back, is what we expected. And that's what I literally was telling my followers yesterday on our Monday night call. And so, for that reason, we're not expecting market to go higher. I know tomorrow the Fed is coming out, it's going to say some stuff about the FOMC. Could that be a catalyst? What would happen is if this market is going to go higher, then we should see a breakout on these levels right here. Does that make sense? But based on what we're seeing right now, without knowing anything else, it's like, well, it's consolidated. Now that consolidation can go for like another week or two before it starts heading higher, or we might see a slight pullback before we start seeing things go higher. But that's kind of like what we are looking at. Because again, I could go over here to Microsoft, same thing. The consolidation is beginning. Here is Apple. Apple is going down. Here is Meta. Things are consolidating right now. Maybe a slight pullback. So we need to see a breakout. And I don't know if tomorrow is going to be that catalyst. We'll have to wait and see if that takes place. Um, so we just wait to see when the market is ready to go higher. That's really what it is. So again, I apologize. I don't necessarily have an undervalued stock that I would say we want to pay attention to on our radar. Okay, it's just a lot of stocks um, that we are just focusing on. And blue chips, we prefer blue chips simply because blue chips do pretty well. Okay. AMDL. I wonder if that's a leverage ETF of AMD. Let me take a look at that. AMDL. Yes, that is a leverage instrument of the AMD. So in situations like this, you can see AMD is one of those that we've been analyzing. I like to look at the actual the stock itself because AMDL is going to be a derivative of the AMD. And so in a situation like this, my concern again is once you know how to identify top-end patterns, you start realizing things. So this is a top-end pattern, very similar to what's going on with Micron. Again, the overall market is showing us signs that it's consolidating or it's going to pull back. So don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if you see a lot of stocks struggling to go higher. Are they going to be the exceptions? Are there going to be some exceptions to the rule? Without a question, yes. But I would say for now, I won't be surprised at all. Like that's what we prepared for. That's what I was telling all our clients yesterday when we were on the call and say, look, go in and place your stops, go in and start taking your profits, go in and start selling some of the shares because I am not expecting. One person asked, "Oh, should we start buying?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like, this is not the time for that because top-end patterns are beginning to emerge. You'll see something very similar to this happen right here, and when it fell down. Does that make sense? So, seeing that and knowing that the overall market is also showing signs. And by the way, if you say, "Why is what do you mean by the overall market?" I'm referring to the S&P 500. Okay, so the S&P 500 is showing us this. And again, even the S&P 500 is showing us this is a top end pattern right here. This is a top end pattern right here. And now this is a top end pattern right here, all telling us that we should expect market to pull back. At worst, at best, maybe it goes sideways. Sideways is what we expected. So because the overall market is doing that, you gotta understand if this is the S&P 500 and this is now collectively now doing it. That means that a good chunk of the stocks in the S&P 500 is beginning to do such a thing too as well. And so we're looking at this and saying, look, a lot of stocks are probably going to be struggling to go higher. And I believe AMD is going to be one of those as well. And it's already shown us its alarm signal, so to speak, that, look, it's perhaps going to struggle going higher for a while. That could take literally the rest of this week. It could take a week and a half. It could struggle from now to the end of the month. We're talking about what another 2 weeks at most, maybe less than 10 days of trading to the end of the month. That's not impossible for it to do so. And then it recovers and start heading back higher again. Okay. So just be aware. I would be more bearish sentiment than I would be bullish. Tomorrow would be the catalyst based on what the Fed says and how the market reacts to that. Based off of that, again, if we are going to go higher, then we should see price go above this level. I mean, I have to tell you, if price goes above these levels right here, any tops that we have within the last week or two, if price goes above that after the Fed announcement, then expect market to continue going higher. Otherwise, expect market to go sideways or for the market to come down is what we expect going forward. Okay. All right, let me see here. Tesla on the daily time frame. Absolutely. Let's take a look at Tesla. Those are the type of stocks that I like. So here's Tesla on the daily time frame, and you can see again, here's another situation where the rollover is beginning to take place. Notice that Tesla was doing well, went up, came back down, went up, came back down, went up, came back down, and then now it seems like it's trying to form a lower high and lower low on Tesla. All right. So again, a lot of stocks were trying to go higher, but now within the last week, we've come up with some type of a resistance that is causing the market to start showing signs that look, it's not going to go higher. So we have one topping pattern right there, two topping patterns right there, three topping patterns right here, all telling us, look, you can draw that resistance line if you want. And by the way, if we look at this too as well, there's a saying that old resistance becomes new support. So if this was the oldest resistance that we had right here, or the old support, right? Now it broke through, it came over here, and it looks like it's trying to go down here. So again, and I'm not saying that this is a market that's going to go super bearish for the rest of the year. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I say even if it's just for the rest of this month, we might not see price do well going higher for now. So it's just like, all right, and this is what I was telling them last night again. I was like, hey guys, take your profits if you have any profits. Do not engage do not initiate any bullish trades right now. Hold off for about the rest of this week. Let's see how the market behaves. It could be that they are consolidating because of the Fed announcements tomorrow. Who knows? The FOMC, I should say, FOMC meeting tomorrow. Who knows? But again, the key would be, should the FOMC meeting come out tomorrow and we see price close above this level between now and Friday, or between tomorrow and Friday, then all systems go. We're bullish, green light. Should it not, then I'll say, okay, this could continue going sideways or pull back down. Fair enough. All right, let's see. Next one is Body Vibe 39 said, that's what I thought in Bollinger Bands daily. I am seeing buying signal USD. Thank you. Welcome. HLX offshore. Let's see. HLX. Let's take a look at that one. HLX. What's that one? Okay. Same situation. And again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's just what the market is doing. When the market does what it does, the market does what it does. Right now, there's just a lot of topic patterns that are coming up. Market is at a level where it is struggling to go higher, understandably so. One, for the mere fact that, look, the market has been doing well. At the beginning of June, some of it since May has been doing well. So it needs a break. The other is, hey, we know the Fed FOMC is coming out tomorrow, so maybe they are waiting to see what's going on. So people are being cautious. But again, here's resistance right here, here's resistance right here, and this is acting as resistance as well. Not only is it acting as resistance, but again, topping pattern showing up, topping pattern showing up. All this is letting me know, look, don't expect price to go higher. Does that make sense? Now, is it going to drop tremendously? That we don't know. But the one thing I am confident about is that market should not go higher unless it breaks this level. So if you are waiting for markets to turn bullish, I would say be patient, wait for these levels to clear. Should it clear, then yes, market is going higher. Otherwise, get prepared for a market to go down. Because of the FOMC meeting tomorrow, like I said, it's not a bad idea to go in there, place your stops, go in there, take your profits. I've had some people's like, look, tonight I'm placing some sell orders on some stocks so that tomorrow morning, even before the FOMC meeting comes out, I'm out of these trades and stuff like that. Not a bad idea. All right, not a bad idea. Okay. Well, you're welcome. Welcome. SP is saying ZS. Let's take a look at ZS. Okay, very good performance on this stock. It's done incredibly well since March. Earnings comes out, stock is doing really well, but as again, a lot of topping patterns. And so you can see here, and please don't be fooled by the fact that, today was a great day on this stock right here. But again, once these topping patterns started appearing, yes, you have some up days, you have some down days, but there's too many topping patterns appearing over and over and over that is just like, yeah, you might have what seems like it's an update, but net, you're not really, oops, let me redraw that again. Net, you're not really going too much farther away from anything. Does that make sense? So we can draw that line right there, or we can draw a channel that looks something like this. Does that make sense? And so I'm seeing this, and it's like, nope, we're still range bound as far as this is concerned. The biggest moves happened 2 days after the earnings, and then it's been range bound ever since then. Does that make sense? And the way this works is in the event that we have like this wick that showed up right here, you draw your line right here. Should it get violated, which it happened right here, now you're going to have to redraw your resistance level. So let's say the resistance level was originally here. Once this got violated, we have to readjust that. You can either do one or two things. You can duplicate this and place a line up there and then see if it gets violated. Violated means that there's a line that went above, but it came back below. So here we go. We have another one that violated this. So then you can either say, I'm going to change this and let me see. I'm sorry. Let's do this again. Let's activate this one and move this up here to this level here. And there you go. Okay. And then you can either do that, you can have a wide range like this, or you can put that back on and remove this one right here and say, that's our resistance level. Okay. And so now we need price to close above these levels to let us know, yes, market is ready to go higher. So please don't be fooled because again, this looks like a good day right here, and it could be, but I don't want us to ignore the fact that look, we've set some resistance levels and it keeps on raising that resistance level. It's like inches a little bit higher. But make sure that we're not getting sucked into it as we still haven't had a true breakout on that one. You're welcome, SP. All right. ASTS from Greet JK. Let's go with ASTS. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, this is a nice one. All right. So, all right. I would tell you this. This is a major bearish signal right there. Does anybody know what this candlestick signal is right here? Anybody knows what that is? That is a major bearish signal right there. Usually when this appears after a huge run up like this would tell you that, look, the stock is going to struggle going higher. That's the biggest thing that this thing is going to tell you here. Thank you, SP. So that's a bearish Arami signal, all right? And I cover a lot of what I consider the modern candlestick signals in one of my courses, candlestick courses. Once you understand how to read candlesticks, the modern candlesticks, you have an idea of what it's trying to communicate. So one of the things that Harami tells you is like, look, this stock is going to struggle going higher. This is a bearish Harami signal. It's going to struggle. It also communicates that this bullish trend that you had is coming to an end. And usually it will come to an end within the next 5 candles. If not, if it doesn't come to an end within the next 5 candles, what would happen is another bearish signal would appear. So you have 2 things to watch out for. Either one is going to definitely come to an end within the next 5 candles, or 2, another bearish signal would appear, or another signal would appear, which will help us reevaluate what's really taking place. Does that make sense? And so it really is no different. I mean, you can see the example here when we had this big old rally that happened, then we had this bullish signal right here. It's the exact same one as this one right here. And again, it's letting you know, look, this trend is coming to an end. That's what it's telling you. And so what happened is like, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was it. Came back down. So that bullish trend. So anybody who had seen this when this first happened could have looked at that and said, yep, you know what? Maybe it's time to take my money because even if it rallies for another few more days, it's going to come to an end very, very soon. And that's what happened. Then topping pattern started appearing. Then we had this one too, where a huge 2-day big move where everything seems to be going well. And then the same pattern appeared again. And I said, look, once that happens, it's letting you know, look, that bullish trend that you had, it's going to struggle going higher. It's going to come to an end. All right. Same thing right here. Things are going higher over here. We had this bearish Harami signal as well. Okay. Letting you know, look, that trend is coming to an end, or another candlestick signal is going to appear. So once this started happening, boom, selling took place. This is a bearish signal followed by more bearish signals. It's just letting you know this is not going higher. So the fact that this stock went from 20, let's call it 22 to 42, that's almost double in price, right? That's a huge, huge move. And then now it's letting you know, hey, the run is over. It's a dead end. So if you are an astute investor, you would say, you know what? Let me go in and take my money. The worst thing you can do is try to go in there and start buying something on this stock as we see this right now. It is clearly communicated, do not go any further. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm a price analyst, man. It's like you got to, price communicates. I learned this when I was, I was an accountant by profession before I got involved in the stock market and invested and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things they teach you in accounting is that numbers don't lie. So you got to learn how to read numbers. I thought that was a very interesting concept when I first heard that. Like, read the numbers, it will tell you the story. It's like, what? Read the numbers, it'll tell you stories. Like, you can't read numbers. You read words, you don't read numbers. But as any true accountant or financial analyst will tell you, you can read the numbers and the numbers will tell you a story. And so when I got involved in the stock market, it was the same thing too. I started realizing, it's like, wow, the candles can tell your story if you know what is communicating. Unfortunately, there's so many misinformation out there about candlesticks, and that's why I had to put together my course on candlestick analysis, so that once you understand, and there's only so much, you don't need too much, but once you understand what they're communicating, you can literally come up with a narrative and understand what's happening. But just watch this, and you'll see what happens. But this trend is coming to an end. That's what this is telling us. Topping patterns are shown. Data has shown that this is coming to an end very soon. I will not expect it to go any higher. Fair enough. Exactly. People can lie, but true numbers do not. And that's what I love about, and that's why I just strictly focus on analysis. Try not to get persuaded by biases out there and just look at the chart. So that's why when David, asked me to come here, I was like, oh, I love doing these because I don't have to worry about what's going on with the stock. Just show me the chart and I'll tell you what the charts are communicating. Fair enough. All right. So other ones, what are some other ones out there? Anybody has any others that you want us to take a look at that you might want to analyze? All right, S. Let's take a look at S. Who is S? Okay. All right, very interesting. Now, this one is the exact opposite. This one is letting us know that it is gearing up to go higher. So what do we mean by that? Earnings came out, the stock did, what it did. I'm not even going to say it's horrible because it all depends on what side you're on. All right. Then it started rallying. Notice that we had a selling signal saying that topping patterns are going to occur. Topping patterns occur. The stock rolled over. But here's the interesting thing. You remember what I said about the bullish, bearish Arami signal? Now we have the exact opposite of that in the form of a bullish Harami signal taking place right there. Okay. So what this is telling us now is that, hey, guess what? This drop, this downtrend is coming to an end. Does that make sense? It's coming to an end. Why is it coming to an end? I don't know. All I know that it is coming to an end. It's no different from when this started happening. I want you guys to see, again, there's a lot of information here. When this happened right here, it say, hey, things, should not go any lower. But within 5, if it goes lower, within 5 candles, you will get another signal. We got 1, 2, 3. On the 4th candle, it let us know. Trust me, it's not going any lower. What happened? Market went higher. Same thing is happening right here now again. Market is going down, going down, going down. Then we see this bullish around the signal. What is letting us know, like, look, this downtrend has occurred. Don't expect it to go any lower. All right. Now we got to expect things to go higher, and that's what we got here. So my expectation is that this is going to go higher. Okay. When this occurs, given the fact that the overall market is trying to be bearish, the biggest thing you can do is look, if anything goes wrong, right? Again, I don't need to know what's going on in the media, no, whatever. The one thing that should not happen when this takes place is that price should not close below here. Okay. Because now we've got the warning sign that it's going to go higher. We've got the confirmation that this is going higher. So in the event that now that we've got the confirmation that this is going higher and we close below here, I'm here to tell you, pack up your stuff and get out of Dodge. That is not going to be a good sign. All right. Let's see here. Rocket Companies, RKT. Let's take a look at that. RKT, I got 4 seconds left. All right. So RKT, I'm going to tell you this right now, not looking good. This, just like we had this right here, we're beginning to have this right here. This is already confirming that it is ready to go down. So be aware of that. Not looking good just from watching that. I got 3 minutes left. Let's see. Let's go PSTG. Let's go with PSTG. Let's go here. Okay. Very interesting on this one. PSTG was already coming down. We've put in a bottom, so to speak, right? So the question would be if we can get a confirmation of this. If we do get a confirmation of this, meaning that we get a green candle that closes above that, then I can expect things maybe just to rally to this top right here. Otherwise, I'll be expecting things. So I will wait for one more candle, and then honestly, target will be up here. Not that much that is giving us, because big picture, it is still range bound. All right. Let's see. I probably got 2 minutes left. Let's see. UNG. Let's go with UNG. UNG. Okay. This one looks so nice. I would say this is one that is ready to go higher. Everything is telling us this is our bullish Arami signal. We got confirmation. It's taking off. I would say this is looking like it's ready to go higher. I wish I could tell you more about it, but I got to run. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. RIVN. Let's take a look at RIVN. All right. This is a stock that is going down, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down. It attempted to go higher, but it's failing, and it's just keep on going down. So short. I won't want to go long on this one. Let's see. Who else do we got? Who else do we got? Sorry, I'm rushing. Aren't there bullish Arami signals around 526, but then drop? Omar, which stock is that? I could definitely look at that if you don't mind. Which one are you referring to uh, on S? Okay, so and you said what is this? 526. Let me take a look at that. S 526. 526. Let's see. 526. Where's 526? Give me a second. Sorry about that. Where's my cursor? Where's 526? 526. Right here. Okay, so I don't see any bullish Arami signals here. This is not a bullish Arami. None of these are bullish Aramis. If you're looking at this, that's not a bullish Arami. This is why people make a lot of mistakes. You can't have two of the same color as a signal. One has to be green, one has to be red. So there's no bullish Arami signals there. Okay, so let's make sure. So around the earnings, yes, no bullish Arami there either on the earnings. That's a bearish engulfing signal, but not a bearish Arami or bullish Arami. So yes, let's make sure this is why it's super important that we understand our candlesticks really well. All right, my time is almost up, so to speak. So here's what I'm trying to do. Every Monday night, I have a workshop, live class. I would like you to come join us there. My link here, David, I'm not sure if David helped me put the link up. There you go. So David just put that up. Guys, it's a huge discount for 1 year, okay? I'm discounting it huge for 1 year. Come join us. It will be every Monday night. Classes are recorded. We go into more time. We have more time to analyze these. I give out lists of stocks that I'm watching, lists of stocks that we traded, and all that stuff. So same thing you saw me do over here, but just in more details. And we picked every top and bottom since 2016. So come join us. We'd love to have you there. David, thank you again. Let me turn it over to you because my time is pretty much up. Thank you so much for having me, David.